Okay, picture this. It's that really quiet time, just before dawn breaks. Stillness everywhere. And apparently, there's this almost cosmic event happening, witnessed by angels. And it's all focused on your Fajr prayer.
Right. It's quite a thought.
It makes you wonder, is it just, a prayer? Or is there something more? Like a hidden key, maybe? Something in Fajr that could unlock, well, huge blessings.
And I think many of us know Fajr is important fundamentally, but the actual depth, the mechanics of what's happening spiritually, maybe that's less clear.
Exactly. So today, we want to dive deep into that. We're calling it the Angel's Secret Code of Fajr. Understanding this might seriously change how you start your day.
Yeah, Fajr isn't just the first prayer. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, put a special emphasis on it. There's something unique about that time.
So what is it? Why this prayer?
Well, that's what we'll explore. We're looking at three main things today. First, this idea of divine witnessing. What do the angels see and why does it matter? Second, how consistency in Fajr showing up day after day is basically the code that unlocks its power.
Ah, consistency. Makes sense.
And third, how all this connects you to, well, real-world things like angelic support and tangible blessings throughout your day.
All right, let's start with that divine witnessing.
Yeah.
Sounds intense. Angels reporting back. What's the core idea there?
It comes from a really key hadith narrated by Abu Huraira. The Prophet, peace be upon him, explained that angels come in shifts.
Shifts, like changing guards.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
A night shift and a day shift. And they swap over, they meet specifically at the Fajr prayer and the Asr prayer.
Fajr and Asr, okay.
Then the hadith says, those angels who are with us overnight ascend. And Allah asks them, even though he obviously knows everything, he asks, how did you leave my servants?
Wow, he asks them.
Yes, and their reply is consistent. We left them while they were praying, and we came to them while they were praying. This is a highly authenticated narration, found in Bukhari and Muslim.
So it's not just that they happen to be there. There's an actual, divine debrief happening.
Exactly. It's a divinely ordained check-in.
Okay, but why those specific times? Fajr and Asr. What's special about the beginning and the sort of mid-afternoon?
Well, think about Fajr. It's the transition, isn't it? Darkness to light. It's like a mini spiritual rebirth each morning, starting fresh.
Yeah, okay.
And Asr, well, that's when the day starts winding down. Things slow a bit, maybe time for reflection before evening. It marks another significant shift in the day's energy.
So the angels meet at these crucial transition points.
Right. And Allah's question, how did you leave them? Asking for that testimony, even knowing the answer. It really highlights the honor given to someone who is found praying at those times.
It's like your status is being mentioned specifically in the heavens every morning, potentially.
Precisely. Imagine that. Your state of worship being presented. It's not just a passive observation.
That's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
What does that do for us, practically speaking?
Well, think about the focus it implies. Starting your day recognized, in a sense, for being in that state of devotion. It sets a certain spiritual tone, doesn't it?
Yeah, it definitely would.
It suggests you're aligning yourself right from the start with this divine rhythm. And that could open you up to unseen support, clarity for the day ahead.
Okay, so that connects to the second point then, consistency being the key. If this witnessing happens every day, the power must be in showing up repeatedly.
Absolutely. That regularity, especially when it's tough, fighting sleep, the cold, laziness, that's the signal. It shows genuine faith, real effort.
Right.
There's another hadith where the Prophet, peace be upon him, said that Fajr and Isa prayers are the heaviest, the most burdensome for the hypocrites.
Oof, heavy.
Yeah, but then he said if they truly knew the reward in them, they'd come even if they had to crawl. That's also Bukhari and Muslim. It shows that prioritizing Fajr, pushing through the difficulty, is a mark of sincerity. It's Iman in action.
That alarm clock battle is real. Some mornings it feels like a huge fight.
It is a battle. But winning it consistently does something profound. It builds spiritual muscle, resilience.
Okay.
And it connects to this idea of Nur light on the day of judgment. The Prophet, peace be upon him, told us to give glad tidings, good news, to those who walk to the mosques in the darkness.
Walk in the darkness.
Yes, for Fajr mainly. Because their reward is perfect light on the day of resurrection. Think about that. Light earned in the pre-dawn darkness becomes your guidance on that ultimate day.
Wow, so Fajr becomes like a spiritual shield almost.
Exactly, a shield, and it sets a precedent for the whole day. You've made that first act of obedience, that first conscious choice for Allah over your own comfort. That impacts everything that follows.
So it's way more than just checking a box. It's building something. And you mentioned this consistency also brings like angelic support and blessings now in daily life. How does that work?
Yeah, it's not just about the hereafter. When you make Fajr a consistent habit, you're essentially putting yourself under Allah's protection for the day. There's a clear hadith in Sahih Muslim. Whoever prays the Fajr prayer, he or she is then under Allah's protection. Simple as that.
Under Allah's protection, that's a huge sense of security to start your day with.
Isn't it? Knowing you've stepped into that divine care right from the beginning. And beyond protection, there's Barakah. Blessing, abundance.
Barakah. Everyone wants more Barakah.
Well, the early morning is prime time for it. The Prophet, peace be upon him, actually made a specific dua, "O Allah, bless my ummah in their early mornings."
He prayed for blessings specifically for the early risers.
Yes. So by being awake for Fajr, praying, maybe doing some remembrance or reading Quran, you're positioning yourself right in the path of that blessing. It can affect your work, your time, your sustenance, your risk. Many righteous people in the past noted how much more productive and blessed their work felt when started after Fajr.
Right, and I guess making dua at that time, that must be especially potent.
Oh, absolutely. The moments right before Fajr, during the prayer, just after, these are considered incredibly blessed times for supplication.
Why is that?
Well, the angels are present, as we discussed. The heavens are said to be open. Your sincere requests, raised in that state of worship at that specific time, they have a special weight. It's a direct line, in a way, right when the day is beginning.
So the impact of Fajr really echoes the entire day, doesn't it? It's not just the 5 or 10 minutes of prayer.
Precisely. It creates ripples. That first spiritual victory, choosing obedience over ease, it sets a positive trajectory. You tend to have better focus, maybe a more positive outlook.
Makes sense. You started strong.
Exactly. You've already grounded yourself, centered your intention on Allah. That makes you more resilient against, distractions, temptations, negativity throughout the day. It's like setting your spiritual compass right at the outset.
So it's not just an isolated ritual, it's really the foundation.
It's the spiritual bedrock. It recalibrates your whole being towards seeking Allah's pleasure right from the moment you wake up.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this angel's secret code up.
Yeah.
It sounds like it comes down to consistently showing up for Fajr, but also understanding what's happening.
That's it. So the key takeaways are, 1, angels are witnessing you. They report this act of worship, which brings immense honor.
Right, the witnessing.
2, consistency is the code. It's the proof of sincerity that unlocks divine light, protection, and that inner strength we talked about.
The key, got it.
3, performing Fajr actively invites Allah's protection, His blessings, that Barakah, and the support of His angels into your actual daily life. It's practical.
Protection and blessings.
And 4, Fajr sets the spiritual tone, the trajectory, for a more grounded, mindful, and protected day ahead. It's the foundation.
It really flips the perspective, doesn't it? Missing Fajr isn't just missing a prayer slot, it's potentially missing out on this whole divine system set up for us.
That's exactly the shift in mindset needed. It's not about viewing Fajr as a chore or a burden to get over with. That's an incredible opportunity, a privilege even. It's like being handed a spiritual master key every single morning. A key to a life potentially filled with more peace, more blessings, more connection, both now and later.
A master key. That's a powerful image to end on. Makes you think very differently about that alarm going off before dawn. Thank you. This has been really illuminating.
You're welcome. It's definitely something profound to reflect on.